The Indian Army is looking to choose from 3 different mobile armored protection vehicles, and will choose between the indigenous Tata wheeled armored protection vehicle, the American Stryker infantry combat vehicle, and the high mobility multi-purpose wheeled vehicle. The options are being evaluated at the moment, and a decision in this regard would be taken soon, and officials have said that the indigenous platform would certainly have preference over the foreign products. The American high-mobility multi-purpose wheeled vehicle and Stryker have already established their capability of being dropped from transport aircraft including the C-130 and the C-17, which are also operated by the Indian Air Force. The Indian Army has asked private industries to meet the annual requirement for different types of ammunition for the next 10 years, but the Army has also made it clear that the government will not provide any special concessions or any funding to facilitate setting up infrastructure by participating firms. The types of ammunition to be manufactured includes 300mm Smirch systems and 122mm BM-21 systems, 155mm 40mm and 20mm rounds for artillery and air defense systems, as well as 7.62mm and 9mm rounds for different rifles and carbines. The DRDO has offered 2 local alternatives, and the first option involves the development of a hybrid 35-ton tank by fitting a 105mm cannon from John Cockrell Defence on the hull of the K9 Vajra, and will be powered by a 1000 horsepower MTU engine that is optimized for high altitudes, and this hybrid tank could go into production within 18 months. The second option also retains the hull of the K9 Vajra and MTU engine, but will be equipped with the 125mm cannon of the T-90, which is already operated by the Indian Army, and this 38-ton tank would also require 18 months for going into production. Larsen & Toubro is currently assembling the remaining 49 K9 Vajra howitzers under license from South Korea, and will complete the order by early 2021, and if India goes ahead with the K9 chassis for an Indian light tank, Larsen & Toubro would have to extend that license. The DRDO is confident that either of these locally developed hybrid tanks would be a better option than the Russian Sprit SDM-1, as it was never exported and is also not in regular production, which will make it hard for Russia to meet early delivery schedules, and would again make India dependent on Russia for spares, overhauls and any future upgrades. The Indian Ministry of Defence has released a draft defence policy yesterday that will support advances in indigenous defence manufacturing and active participation of public and private sector to achieve a turnover of $25 billion and export target of $5 billion in the aerospace and defence sector by 2025. The draft policy outlines several other strategies to support small businesses, encourage research and development, increased inward foreign investment, strengthen public sector institutions, and also optimize resource allocation. After the former chief of the Indian Air Force dismissed the J-20 as a fifth-generation fighter, the former chief of the Western Air Command has also questioned the stealth characters of the Chinese J-20, and said that the J-20 is powered by the same engines which power India's Su-30 fighter jets, and as Hindustan Aeronautics has produced around 900 engines, it is known that the engine lacks both heat management features and supercruise capability, and it cannot be adapted for stealth aircraft. He also added that the side profile and rear profile of the J-20 shows that it has no stealth in these areas, and the frontal stealth profile is compromised by the canards and the small foreplanes on its forward fuselage, and the Su-30 had already picked the J-20 a number of times from long ranges. A retired Major General of the Indian Army has said that the Indian defence industrial base still continues to be dominated by the government sector, and this dominance has been associated with inefficiency, poor quality and lack of accountability. After building the Su-30 in India for a decade, it still has 44% imported content. The NOG anti-tank guided system has an imported content of 30%, and the advanced light helicopter and the airborne early warning and control aircraft of more than 40%, and the Indigenous Arjun tank with 55% imported content, which includes fire control system, engine and gearbox. Meanwhile, even without a level playing field, the private sector have already proved their mettle by delivering a wide variety of platforms ahead of schedule. The global tactical optics market size is projected to grow from $9.7 billion in 2020 to $13 billion by 2025, and most of the orders are grabbed by Tier 1 and Tier 2 companies from US, Israel, Norway and Sweden. While there is a large opportunity for grabbing the tactical optics market, and there are few Indian manufacturers, but they are limited to producing optical scopes, and only one of the manufacturers, Alpha Design Technologies, have developed scopes that meet the military 810 global test standards for tactical need.